Hey guys, this is Brian Jones from Valhalla Academy, and I'm here with Jason Gannone from Frankfort, Crossfit Frankfort, and we're going to talk a little bit about the interaction between CrossFit and the Jiu-Jitsu community. I know there's a big overlap between those two, so I appreciate you having me out here. We're actually at his facility right now. It's a very nice facility here in Frankfort, Kentucky. Do you want to give us a little bit brief rundown? I mean, most of the audience might know what CrossFit is. If you haven't, you've probably been under a rock for the last 10 years, but what is a general philosophy behind CrossFit?
Well, CrossFit by definition is constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity. So what does that mean? It means our workouts are always varied. You're never going to come in and do the same thing day to day. It's all functional movement. So what we do here has some kind of real life application. You know, you're not going to come in here and do bicep curls, because when are you ever going to do a bicep curl outside of the gym? All right, you're not. If you're going to pick something up, you're going to do a deadlift. That is a functional movement. So we do deadlifts, we do squats, we do movements like that, pull-ups, things that you would do in real life. High intensity, that's how we get our results. You see a lot of exercise programs out there. CrossFit works on a high intensity, so it's a short time frame. Workouts are typically 8 to 12 minutes on average. But in that 8 to 12 minutes, you're doing a ton of work. So it's all about work and power output. That's what we're about. That's the high intensity piece. So.
And I've done a lot of CrossFit workouts, and they will smoke you. You don't have to work out for a long time. It's funny to hear these guys that go to the gym and they're like, yeah, I was there for 2 hours.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you were talking on the cell phone and you were flexing in the mirror and all that stuff. It doesn't take that long to get a great workout.
No. I think that's part of the misconception that people come in with. They look at the workout and they see, well, it's only 12 minutes. And then by halfway through, 6 minutes in, they're like, oh my God, it's only halfway done, you know, and they're dying. And it's great. It's absolutely great.
Okay, so super time efficient, because like everybody, I mean, nobody has unlimited time. You have to balance your day out with, you know, work, life, family, all the other stuff. And if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you need to work this into your schedule. So there's a big overlap I noticed in the CrossFit and Jiu-Jitsu. So I'll see a lot of Jiu-Jitsu gyms have CrossFit attached to it, or CrossFit gyms will have a Jiu-Jitsu program. If you look online, there's a lot of like half the times you'll see the Brazilian flag in the background because they have like a Jiu-Jitsu program. So what is the benefit or the main benefits for a grappler, be it Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, wrestling, or other martial arts for CrossFit?
Well, CrossFit looks to increase your work capacity over broad time and modal domains. So what does that mean? It means we're going to increase your conditioning, your ability to perform work. So if you're a grappler, for example, you're going to have these you're going to have a match, and it's going to be some periods of very high intensity in there, and you need to have good cardiovascular endurance to be able to roll for a long period of time. Well, what we do, we're not specialists. However, our method of working out will increase your cardio capacity. It will increase your strength. Strength is also good. Now, obviously with technique, you know, in jiu-jitsu and any other martial art, technique can win over strength. However, being strong is always a good thing, and if you can couple that with good technique, then you're going to be, you're going to win. And so it really plays into a lot of what we do here. You know, focusing on technique as well. We have techniques that we do, so there is some very very close similarities to what we do and what martial artists do. But then again, we are not a martial arts studio, so we will help you with the cardio endurance that you're going to need and the strength, but we don't teach martial arts.
Right. But there's some fundamental biomechanics. I did a little video on the deadlift and how it applies to grappling. There's some fundamental biomechanical principles that you're going to learn from the lift, and how to move your body doesn't really change regardless of the context that there's a proper way to kind of squat, there's a proper way to pick somebody up, there's a proper way to do all these different activities.
Absolutely. And when you consider where your power generation comes in CrossFit, it's from the hips. And I'm sure that you would probably tell me that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that a lot of your power is going to come from the hips.
Yep.
So if you know how to harness that strength, whether it's in CrossFit or Jiu-Jitsu, it's going to give you a leg up on your competition.
Outstanding. So if you're a competitor, look at this kind of training. It's definitely going to help. Because, technique is one thing, but you're paired up with a guy. There's skill divisions and there's weight divisions. So you want to be as strong as you can for your size, and you also want to outlast them, because when you're tired, you can't do anything. Your technique's gone. So when skill and size are equivalent, you need that conditioning. It makes a difference.
And the other factor, with a lot of our workouts, there is a mental game to CrossFit, and it's that pushing yourself past that point of being tired. So that can also help translate to the martial arts world. When you've been rolling with someone for a long time, and you're tired, you got to dig deep, you got to finish that match. So it's the same way with a CrossFit workout. You got a hard wad, and you just got to get through it. Your technique might start breaking down. That's when you really got to focus. Remember, the basics, and go back to that. So
okay, outstanding. I've noticed with being different CrossFit gyms, I've visited a lot, seen a lot of CrossFit, and it seems that there's a different culture, different flavor. And a lot of it's based on the instructor, it's based on the equipment availability. Sometimes people will get into CrossFit. I've noticed they were kettlebell guys and they started doing CrossFit, or they were lifters, Olympic lifters, or power lifters, and they kind of made that transition over. Is there anything that you would you consider yourself sort of a specialist in a certain area here at CrossFit Frankfort, or?
Well, what we like to do with our programming, we like to keep it really balanced. So we do incorporate kettlebells, we do incorporate Olympic lifting, because those are all things you're going to see in CrossFit. And a lot of people like it. They like the Olympic lifts because it's sexy, or some people really like kettlebells. I love kettlebells myself, but I don't want to over-program on kettlebells, because everyone needs a variety, and that's the spice. That's the point of CrossFit, is that constantly varied. So we try and make it balanced, to where we're not just harping on one thing over and over again. Now every once in a while we may go a little deeper into a certain type of movements or whatever. We did a kettlebell week where we were doing all kinds of different kettlebell lifts. There are a lot of them out there, but we like to keep it balanced. We like to incorporate the gymnastics, because those, for most adults, those are some of the most difficult exercises.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We seem to forget how to do things like that when we grow up. So things that kids do all the time for play, somersaults, trying to do handstands, things like that, you have to relearn as an adult. So, those are just as important as doing Olympic lifting or, any other type of lift. And
then the body weight stuff, controlling your own body in space is really key to grappling. So that's a direct carryover there.
Definitely.
See that.
And pound for pound, gymnasts are some of the strongest people in the world. So there must be something to it.
Exactly. I know I can't do any kind of crazy gymnastics, so I can do a cartwheel, maybe a round off, really ugly one. But anyway, anything else that you want to bring up about your gym, or the crossover, or anything, the overlap, grappling, or anything else on your mind?
Well, just to emphasize the point that we don't specialize in CrossFit, so we're not necessarily going to make you a better grappler, or whatever your sport happens to be. We're not going to make you better at that sport, but what we will do is increase your conditioning to where you will just have overall just more athleticism, more fitness, be stronger, and therefore that will translate into better performance in your sport. Obviously, you need to still work techniques in your sport specifically. Mm-hmm. But we will certainly build that, baseline of conditioning and fitness.
Outstanding. Well, Jason, I really appreciate you having me over here doing this interview. It's Brian Jones from Valhalla Academy in Frankfort, Kentucky, here at CrossFit Frankfort with Jason Gannone. So check these guys out. I'll put the contact information up at the end of this video. And if you're in the area, stop by. Appreciate it. See you next time.